What's up, all my movie loving maniacs? It's your boy Bangful B of The Last of the Factor, and I'm back with the weekly movie rundown, the segment where I've run down some things that I watched throughout last week. And this week, I watched an older movie to prep for a newer movie that comes out officially this weekend, and I watched a newer movie that was released on Netflix that I was kind of curious about based off of who was in it. So let's get started, starting with Gladiator from 2000. Let's review. So Gladiator is basically a revenge tale about Maximus. His whole family gets killed and then sent into slavery, and then he works his way, and then he gets into the gladiator games, and then works his way through that until he is eventually face to face with the king that had his whole family killed. Now, let me be clear, Gladiator 2 is the only reason I went back and watched the original, basically for the first time. Because I remember watching bits and pieces of it on TV here and there throughout my life, but otherwise, I've never really watched this movie from front to back all the way through. So this was essentially a first time watch for me. And also, I've just never really been a big fan of sword and sandal movies, aside from the occasional ones, but otherwise, I'm just not into, you know, basically this era of history. I respect it, but otherwise, I could give two shits about it. But I will give it respect because it is directed by Ridley Scott, and Ridley Scott, to his credit, he really put his foot in this one. The action sequences are amazing. Ridley Scott, he really captured the scope to make this movie feel grand and epic, and you really feel the brutality of all the action scenes, from the blood, the slicing and dicing with the swords. He had freaking tigers in there. This movie definitely does get brutal at times, and I'll also respect this movie because it did start that trend of, the sort of sandal movies, and we would get shows like Spartacus, and of course 300, which is probably one of my favorite ones right there. Excellent acting across the board from Russell Crowe, Joaquin Phoenix. He's a real piece of shit in this movie. Connie Britton, look, because I didn't really watch this movie a lot growing up, and I'm only now really watching it in my adult life, I don't really have no real loyalty to this movie. But at the same time, I will still respect it for a number of things that this movie did right. And just for that alone, I am going to give Gladiator the thumbs up emoji. Hey, you might be mad that I give it this rating, but hey, this is just coming from someone that really watched it for the first time. And please, in the comment section, if you think I wasn't being fair, or if you think I'm being fair, just let me know in the comment section below. Like, let me know, talk to me. Next up is Emilia Perez, which was released on Netflix last Wednesday. It is about a Mexican cartel leader who hires a lawyer to help him transition into a woman. In addition to doing that for personal reasons, he also does it just to fly under the radar of some of his enemies. He has his family taken somewhere else while he's basically MIA as he's going through this transition and fakes his own death, essentially. After she goes through with the procedure, she meets up 4 years later with that same lawyer, who I also forgot to mention is played by Zoe Saldana. After living her best life, she essentially asks her that she is ready to be reunited with her kids and wife or ex wife, however you want to look at it. Now, I said in the beginning, this movie sparked my curiosity based off of who is in it, which is Zoe Saldana and Selena Gomez, two beautiful actresses that I've loved in many other things. I think Zoe Saldana is good in most things that she is in. Always curious about Selena Gomez's acting career trajectory and where it's going. And this movie was getting a lot of awards praise for the three actresses in this movie and the direction as well. And now that I've seen it, I was really surprised with how much I enjoyed it. Because while this movie is really a lot of things, it's a Mexican cartel movie, it's a crime movie, it's a musical, surprisingly, a dark musical at that. And then through it all, it also manages to be a transgender story. Now, I'm not part of that community, but I am open to hearing those kinds of stories. In a transgender story about a Mexican cartel leader transitioning into a woman just to hide from her enemies, that's pretty creative, and yeah. Now, this movie was directed by a French filmmaker, and she really put her foot in this one because, like I said, this is like a dark musical. I really did not expect any of the songs in here, but somehow they work. Now, granted, they're not songs that'll be stuck in your head, but they make sense within context of the movie. Like there's this one scene where where Zoe Saldana's character, she's going to research about the transitional procedure, and they managed to make a song about that. Of course, the glory goes to all three of these actresses. Carla Sofia Gascon, who plays the title character, Emilia Perez, she really was the heart of this movie, and she really got it in this movie. And to go back to the whole transgender story, I do like how they say like after she's transitioned and she's like a completely different person than somebody else, even if they don't know who that really is. I also like how even though she's a completely different person, she still has to atone for some of the things that she did when she was a different person. Now, Zoe Saldana did a lot more than I thought she would ever do. Like, she was singing, she was dancing, great singing, by the way. But this is probably one of my favorite and probably one of her best performances right here. Selena Gomez, well, I thought she put on an excellent performance and she definitely showed her more artistic side in this movie. But I do feel like she probably had the weakest story in this movie because she is the wife of Carlos of Emilia Perez, who she used to be, and then she goes off and have a relationship with Edgar Ramirez's character in the movie. I just feel like her character was just kind of sidelined up until the very end when she became really important to what was happening at that point. This movie may not be for everybody, but I just loved how weird this movie was and weird in an effective way. I'm gonna give Emilia Perez the thumbs up emoji. But that's it for the day. Thank y'all so much for watching. Have you seen the first Gladiator in a long time? If so, let me know and let me know what you think in the comment section below. And have you seen Emilia Perez? Are you planning on watching? If you have seen it, let me know what you think in the comment section below as well. This your boy Bankful B of The Last of the Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, peace.